Hello everyone, how are you doing today? We're back with more Ushiromiya family drama. Last episode we had that letter that Maria wrote. Oh, Maria didn't write it, she read it to everyone. And I already made my thoughts for the last episode, so if you want to go and see my theories about it, then I suggest you watch the last episode. Now, this is post letter, and I think that the murders are going to start happening now. So I'm pretty excited about it. Strange letter that the witch had entrusted Maria with had wiped all memories of dinner from our minds. Maria had been repeatedly barraged with questions by Auntie Rosa and the other parents, and was now in the worst of tempers because no one would believe her. Even when we kids tried to talk to her, she would just ignore us. Our parents were all stirred up over the gold, firing back and forth about the distribution of the assets and completely forgetting that we children were even there. Even though I'd already figured out that they had been talking about this in the shadows, I never thought they'd be this blunt about it. And at least to us kids, it was a considerable shock. From what we could overhear, all our parents wanted as much money as possible as soon as possible. Back and forth about grandfather's inheritance. Yeah, this is... Back and forth about the distribution of the gold if it was found, about advance payment and payments in cash. It was so despicable I couldn't bear to watch, even though one of them was my dad. Didn't you hate your dad? It looked like Jessica felt the same way. Didn't Jessica also hate her parents? We left our seats, although no one asked us to leave, and went to hang out somewhere apart from the parents. I guess they're just disgusted that they are related to the siblings.
なるほどな。じいさまが飯の席にも顔を出したくない理由がよーくわかったよ。
Don't tell me they are going to take Kingzo's side of the story right now, are they?
うちの親たちにはすっかり幻滅だぜ。金だの遺産だの。よくもまああそこまで大っぴらに。
俺の場合はクソ親父に幻滅しきってるからよ。
Guess they can't handle being related to them.
これ以上評価の下がりようがないぜ。
そんなの私だって同じだぜ。しかし今夜のには呆れたぜ。心底呆れたぜ。
Jessica looked down at the floor, irritated. She was, as always, talking about how bad her parents were, but maybe she hadn't really felt that way deep inside. I could realize that from the depths of Jessica's shock. So Battler does dislike Rudolf, but Jessica, I think she pretends to hate them.
未成年の君たちはご両親に養育してもらってるからわからないだろうけど。
Oh, here comes George, the wise old man, always rationalizing everything.
お金を得るというのは単純な綺麗事じゃないよ。未成年である今にそれを理解しろとは言わない。でもご両親なりに何かの努力をしていることだけは認めてあげてほしいな。
やれやれ。ジョージの兄貴は人間ができてるぜ。
Mature.
ジョージ兄さんは社会人になってバリバリ働いてるけどよ。
Being an adult is just rationalizing everything just so you can bear it, I guess.
金とか財産とかそういう話になったらうちの親父たちみたいに強欲むき出しのハゲタカになれるってのかよ。
自分だけの話だったらそんなことはしたくないよ。でも家族や社員、部下やその家族の生活を背負ったら戦わなければならない時もあるかもしれない。
私はそんな戦い嫌だぜ。小さまの遺産がどうのこうのなんて話ヘドが出るぜ。
Jessica pretended to spit violently. That harsh reaction made the depths of her pain very clear.
もう、この話はやめようぜ。じい様の隠し黄金がどうのこうの、財産だ遺産だって話は、親たちの問題で、俺たちの問題じゃないさ。
I mean, didn't Kinzo tell that everyone should challenge the riddle?
僕も同感だよ。せめて気を利かせて、親たちの話し合いを邪魔しないのが子供の務めだと思うね。
Battler, if you don't solve the riddle, Goda is going to solve it, and he's going to be the new owner of the gold.
なんだか面白くねえぜ。
Everyone knew the phrase adults are filthy, but we had not seen that for ourselves, and that really did give us a shock. George Aniki was now pretty much an adult, and I had already been disillusioned with my dad in the first place, so the shock wasn't that big for us. But it looked like it was different for Jessica. It looked like the shock that Jessica had received was even bigger than I had thought. Maybe she's more sheltered than her personality tells us. This girl, she was always talking badly about her parents, but it looked like she hadn't changed at all on the inside, since long ago. Even now, she was still a pure-hearted and delicate person who couldn't doubt others. Again, using pure-hearted and everything to mention a character makes me believe that that character is going to be creepy later on. I'm sure she respected her parents as much as anyone else does. Then her parents started joining in with all the other parents right in front of us children, going on money, inheritance, my money. So it was no surprise that the shock of hearing that was so big.
ジェシカちゃん、どうかお父さんとお母さんのことを嫌いにならないで。理解しろとまでは言わないから、せめてどうか嫌いにならないであげて。
I mean, it wasn't too much that people start hating their parents. I think that Battler's situation is much more vile, I guess. Because as I've theorized in the past episode, I think that Rudolf and Kyrie were in a relationship way before Battler's mother died. So when they married right after his mother's death, he got pretty... he left, I guess, the family. And I think that situation is much more dire, much more serious than this.
わかってるよ。少し放っておいてくれよ。
Yeah, Battler's situation is much more severe, I guess. 6 years ago, I would have further taunted the dejected Jessica. But even I had grown up over the past 6 years. Yeah. He knows how it is to be on her position. I realized that it would be better to leave Jessica as she was right now. Jessica suddenly looked away subtly and left the parlor. Probably wanted to be left alone for now. He could nothing but wordlessly watch her back as she left.
そういえば、マリアちゃんはどこに行ったんだろう。
Oh my god, Rosa, what are you doing?
多分、まだ肖像画の前でいじけてるんだろうぜ。
Maria, who truly looked up to the witches, had expected that coming in direct contact with Beatrice and receiving the letter as proof would be an event that would surprise everyone and make them happy. However, the adults had doubted its authenticity, had not taken Maria's story at face value, and had thoroughly bombarded her with questions. Even I didn't find it hard to imagine how much that must have hurt Maria. We couldn't speak to either Maria or Jessica. In the end, George, Aniki, and I have just abandoned ourselves to the sound of the falling rain in the dark nights.
台風はどんな感じなんだろうね。
The clock.
ニュースをやってないかな。
I feel tense when the clock starts. The clock or the wind. I feel George Nicky walked over to the corner of the parlor where the television was. He hadn't called me over, and I really couldn't have cared less where the typhoon was over the sea right now. So I didn't go over to the television, but instead loitered around the window.
そんなに風は出てなさそうだけど、海の上はひどいのかしらね。
Oh, Kyrie.
天気予報では暴風警報も聞いてたんだけど。
キリエさんか。大人たちの積もる話は、どんな感じなんすか？
It looked like she caught the sarcasm. Kyrie-san shrugged.
この胃の痛くなる話は徹夜で続くのかしら。嫌になるわ。
まあ、せいぜいよろしく。じいさまの財産分配について、ハゲタカごっこをお楽しみくださいってんだ。
Every episode I'm liking Battler more and more.
最低の気分だぜ。
それに関しては同感よ。バトラ君みたいに席が外せるなら、私もそうしたいわ。でもそうもいかない。たとえ発言権がなくてもね。パートナーも大変よ。
Does Kyrie like Battler? Like, as a person? I think she's trying to connect with him. Kyrie-san sighed, smiling bitterly. Maybe because she is his stepmother. Stepmother? Yeah, stepmother. Well, yeah. They probably won't let Kyrie-san, who married into the family, speak. Yeah, Natsuhi didn't have... But Hideyoshi really hammers it in. Still, as Dad's partner, she had no choice but to stay by his side and support him. So, truly a patriarchal family here. Being in the line of fire, she must be having to bear far greater mental pressure than me. I wasn't going to apologize, but realizing that I had spoken too harshly, I cut through the sarcasm for the time being.
どんな感じなんすか？相変わらず、謎の魔女ベアトリーチェの話題で持ちきりですか？
Oh, I love this sprite.
まあね。あの人たちは、おじいさまが亡くなった時の遺産分配について、兄弟4人で話をまとめようと、ずっと密約を重ねてきた。そこへ未知の5人目が現れて、話をややこしくしようって言うんだから、穏便な話のわけもないわ。互いを罵り合ったり、かと思えば共闘しようってことになったり。夏日姉さんでなくても頭痛がしてくるところよ。
Some unknown fifth person has appeared. On one hand, they all wanted a larger portion than the other siblings, so they were all rivals. But on the other hand, they didn't want 1 yen to be snatched up by anyone other than the siblings, so they were also allies. As I said before, I think that one of the siblings already found the gold and is the Beatrice that they are speaking about. I couldn't get her to tell me the details, but they were also apparently arguing on and on about the ceasefire agreements and the rules to prevent anyone from getting ahead. The situations under which their portions will be protected and what legal measures will be taken in a worst-case scenario. By this point, my emotions had shot straight past disgust, and now I perceive them as a force to be reckoned with.
ってことは、ベアトリーチェはじいさまからの資格ってとこですかね。自分抜きで遺産の分配なんて話を勝手に進めてた息子たちに、一泡吹かせたかったんだろうぜ。
何者かしらね、ベアトリーチェって。
Now, I'm hearing the thunder as well.
自称してることが全て本当なら、今日まで誰にも知られずにいた謎の人物で、しかもおじいさまの隠し黄金の存在を知っていて、その上当主の指輪まで委ねられている。
As I said before, she doesn't need to be entrusted with a ring. As I said before, Kinzo might have prepared that letter in advance as a form of ploy to draw out the culprit.
相当に信頼された人物ね。
And he's thinking that he's going to be all safe inside his room.
さすがにほうきにまたがった魔女だとは思わないっすけど、でも魔女と呼ぶに値する怪人物であることは間違いないっすね。
マリアちゃんがそのあたりのことを詳しく話してくれればいいのだけど。
She won't. She
みんな小さい子にがっつきすぎだわ。
She was the messenger and
すっかり怯えてしまって、聞けるものも聞けなくなってしまった。
and her role in the story is to be of help to the culprit.
あの人たち、北風と太陽とか読んだことないのかしら。
確かなのは、マリアがベアトリーチェと名乗る人物から手紙を受け取ったこと。
I theorize that the culprit is going to reenact the epitaph and gouge and kill everyone. But not everyone, but just the siblings, I guess. And a few of the servants. But I think that... how can I say this? I think that Maria will spread out the legend of the witch so that the culprit stays hidden even more. That's what I think is going to happen.
自分で現れて直接話せばいいものを、手紙を託して今もどこかに身を潜めているっていうシャイな怪人物ですけどね。
Because I can say right now that the witch that you're speaking about, the Beatrice that you're speaking about, is right on this room. It's one of the siblings. I'm saying it now. Trust me on this.
ねえ、バトラ君。ベアトリーチェなんて人物が本当にいると思う？
さあ、あくまでも偽名じゃないっすかね。
Yeah, oh, they're going into it.
じい様の代理人として、その妄想の中の魔女の名を名乗ることを許された、とか。
そうじゃなくて。今この六軒島には全部で18人いるの。19人目が存在すると思う？
No. As I said before, it's one of the siblings. Come on, Kyrie, you can figure this out. Oh, the music. The music. The piano, though. Are there really a whole 18 people on this island? Wondering about that, I began counting on my fingers, and it really did come out to 18 people.
19人目が存在すると思うって。どういう意味ですか？
言葉通りの意味よ。マリアちゃんに傘を貸した人物は私たち18人の中にはいないらしい。なら19人目がいて、その人物がマリアちゃんに傘を貸したと思うのが妥当じゃない？
No.
ま、そうなりますね。
ならその人物は今どこにいるの？少なくとも雨が降り出した瞬間には島にいた。そしてその後はどんどん天気は悪化して、とても船なんか出せない状態。
I don't think there is another person involved.
となれば、その人物はまだ島の中にいて、どこかで雨宿りをしていなくてはならない。私たち誰の目にも触れずね。
確かに。俺たちは屋敷やゲストハウスの中を勝手にうろつき回ってましたが、誰も19人目なんかには会ってないわけですよね。
The only real explanation would be if that person was using secret passages, but I don't know, maybe. But I still think that there isn't an additional culprit on the island.
でもまあ、これだけの広さのある島ですし、屋敷やゲストハウス以外に雨宿りできるところだってあるのかも。
Maybe they're going to say, oh no, the witch Beatrice, she lives on the forest. Oh, she can freely go between places. Oh, she's so scary. She can kill people in closed rooms. Oh, she's so scary. Kinzo's dead on his room. Oh. And the locking mechanism, he must have been the witch Beatrice. Oh. That sort of thing. So the culprit goes free. And the culprit has all the money at the end. At about this time, I began to realize what direction Kyrie's son's doubts were taking us in. Kyrie's son was denying that the 19th person existed. Yeah, came to the same conclusion. Beatrice was one of us, 18. Yeah. In other words, she thought that someone we knew well was using her name.
ベアトリーチェが自称する通りなら、その人物は間違いなく最高の賓客よ。おじい様が信頼する最高の腹心。
I don't think that the culprit itself is calling himself or herself Beatrice. I think that is a ploy by Kinzo. He's designating one of the siblings who already found the gold to be Beatrice, and he's using his servants to deliver the letter. That's what I think it's going to be. So basically, he's trying to corner the person who already found his gold. He's saying that everyone should challenge the epitaph so the culprit gets antsy and starts killing people. That's what I think it's going to happen. And I think Kinzo thinks too highly of himself, and he thinks that being locked up in his room is going to be his great defense against the culprit. But it's not going to work because I think the culprit also has inside men in Genji or Nanjo or both of them, and they are poisoning Kinzo. That's what I think is going to happen.
そんな人物をおじい様が歓待しないわけがない。お屋敷に迎え入れないわけはないのよ。でも私たちは誰も見ていない。
待ってくださいよ。それはちょいと請求な推理じゃないですか。確かに誰の目にも触れてはいないけれど、だからって19人目を否定することにはならないんじゃないですか。何かの理由があってこっそり上陸してずっと隠れているのかも。悪魔の証明ってやつっすよ。いることを証明するのはたやすい。ベアトリーチェってやつが俺たちの前に現れて挨拶すりゃ解決する。でも19人目がいないことを証明するのは不可能っすよ。
I mean, that's true.
バトラ君の推理の仕方は悪くないわ。現在の状況では19人目の存在を認めるにも否定するにも情報が足りない。でもね、チェス盤をひっくり返して考えるとほぼ19人目はありえないって断言できちゃうのよ。
Whip over the chessboard was one of Kiri-san's favorite phrases. I had also been influenced by those words and used them myself from time to time. When you get stuck trying to find a move in a chess or shogi, by flipping the board over and looking at everything from your opponent's standpoint, you can often see a strategy that will give you the upper hand. Derived from this, it means to think by putting yourself in your opponent's shoes. And the ones that stand to gain more are either Kinzo or the siblings.
仮に19人目の人物としてベアトリーチェが実在したとして、その人物は誰にも知られることなくこっそりとこの島に上陸しずっと隠れていた。何かの理由があってね。ならどうしてわざわざ姿を現してマリアちゃんに手紙を渡したの？
It was really a contradiction. They had some reason for hiding themselves, and they should have stayed hidden the whole time, but they appeared openly in front of Maria.
それはほらマリアも言ってた。メッセンジャーにされたって言ってたじゃないですか。マリアが一番年下で素直そうだったからじゃ。
メッセンジャーなんて必要なの？手紙を親族会議の席上に送りたかったら郵送すればいいだけの話よ。
It's to build a mystery around, because they know that Maria is passionate about the witch, right? So they want to build a mystery around the witch.
4人の兄弟全員に郵送すれば黙殺することもできない。手紙を持参してこっそり手渡す理由がないのよ。
確かになんだかおかしな話っすね。
そもそもベアトリーチェが存在していて、その存在をアピールしたいならみんなの前に堂々と姿を現せばいいだけの話。
Because she didn't appear then it makes it impossible to be a 19th person. Because she didn't appear, she wants to keep her appearance hidden. Because she didn't appear, it's one of the 18. It's not one of the 18, it's one of the siblings. I'm saying this since the start.
なのに現れず、マリアちゃんという小さな子を通して、おぼろげな輪郭だけでその存在を主張しようとする曖昧さ、矛盾。もっと考えて。マリアちゃんの前に姿を現し、19人目の存在を印象づけるという点と、今この瞬間も私たちの前に姿を現さず隠れ続けている点。これらの矛盾。これを念頭に置いた上でチェス盤をひっくり返すの。つまり19人目の人物としてベアトリーチェがいると印象づけたい人物の目論見は何かよ。
姿を隠したい人物ならその存在をアピールするわけがない。そして姿を現したい人物なら手紙を託すなんて遠回しをするわけがない。
Man, Kyrie is very smart.
ってことは
簡単よ。
Kyrie is very smart for
ベアトリーチェは18人
a
の中
side
にいるのよ。
character.
だからこそ18人以外の人物が存在するような幻想を作り出しているのよ。これ見よがしな19人目のアピール。それで得をするのは姿を潜めた19人目じゃない。すでにいる18人の方なのよ。もちろんこの推理は穴だらけ。いくつかの前提がひっくり返るだけですぐに崩れる脆いものだけど。
As I said before, I don't think the culprit itself delivered the letter. I think it was Kinzo through one of the servants, and one of the servants are lying.
私はほぼ間違いないと見てるわ。
Right now I think it's... If someone could have delivered the letter, it could have been, not today, but way past. It could have been Rosa, it could have been Natsuhi, it could have been Goda, and it could have been Shannon. This was quickly starting to sound pretty creepy. Who had lent Maria the umbrella and handed her the letter? Rosa? If it was today, Rosa, Natsuhi, Goda, Shannon. Goda works for Natsuhi and Krauss. Shannon works for Kinzo. If it was Kinzo who delivered the letter, he could have delivered way back when, not today, or he could have called Shannon to deliver the letter. Shannon is looking very suspicious right now. All of the 18 had been ruled out, and yet Beatrice was still hidden. Beatrice was still hidden among those 18. As I said before, it's one of the siblings who's going to kill people. What was the person planning, hiding their true form and pretending to be Beatrice?
マリアちゃんの自作自演も疑ったんだけど、文章の内容が非常に手が込んでて、マリアちゃんが自前で用意したとは考えがたい。
Didn't she... Oh.
でもマリアちゃんが何者かと共謀している可能性も否定できないわ。
おいおい、マリアは9歳のお子様だぜ。誰と何を共謀するってんだよ。しかも愚直で真面目で素直なあの性分だぜ。
ええ、私もマリアちゃんの性分はよく理解しているわ。でもだからこそあり得ると思うの。魔女に憧れその存在を盲信している夢見がちな少女。そこにベアトリーチェと名乗る人物が現れて魔女だと名乗ったら、彼女はそれを大喜びで鵜呑みにして信じるんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, Kyrie is just too smart. She's going to die. Oh my god.
つまりあの肖像画のごついドレスを着て変装すればマリアを騙すことは難しくないと。
その論法になっちゃうと私たち女性陣はみんな疑われちゃうことになるんだけどね。とにかくマリアちゃんが何者に出会ったのか、それの詳細を聞くことがこの謎を解く一番にして最も身近な鍵なのよ。 しかしその鍵は少女の心の奥に堅くなに閉ざされてしまったわ。みんなが頭ごなしに魔女の存在を否定し、一体その人物は誰なのかと問い詰めすぎた。マリアちゃんは当分大人には心を開かないでしょうね。
Also, she wants to prod on Battler to do it for her. Is that it? In the dim hall, in front of the portrait, of Beatrice, Maria was sobbing. Poor Maria.
誰もね、マリアがベアトリーチェに会ったことを信じてくれない。ベアトリーチェとくれた手紙も見せたのに、それでも信じてくれないの。
Oh man, I feel bad for Maria.
とにかく鍵はマリアちゃんが握ってるわ。ベアトリーチェが18人の中にいるのか19人目なのか、それを知る鍵をね。
マリアは頑固だぜ。あいつへそを曲げるとなかなか機嫌を直さないからな。
大人の私より子供のバトラ君の方が機嫌を直せる確率は高そうよ。彼女の機嫌が直ったら聞いてみて。遺産分配がどうのこうのって話には関心ないけど、こんな王道洋館ミステリーみたいなシチュエーションにはワクワクしちゃわない？
Yes, 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 Kyrie. Oh my god, you're rising. You are rising to the top.
マリアちゃんに手紙を渡した人物は一体誰なのか。知的好奇心がうずくわ。
Okay, Marie. Oh, okay, Kyrie. You're going straight to the top.
うんざりするような金の話に付き合わされても、ワクワクとは、実にタフなことだぜ。
She's saying, mention murder, mention mystery. I'm so excited, man.
大人はすげえや。
It's contradictory that I'm excited for the murders to start happening, but I'm really excited. I shrugged, exasperated. But I had realized she had noticed the dejection I was feeling because I had overheard our parents' turbulent discussion and was probably trying to turn my mood around. She had at least managed to make me feel good enough to hurl abuse. She was my real mother, so I never felt calling her mom. But it didn't make me think she's a real adult.
おうガキども、ここにいたのか。
Oh, Rudolf, here you are.
キリエも長え化粧直しじゃねえか。
Did she use that as an excuse to leave?
俺も次からは化粧をしてくることにするぜ。
Okay, Rudolf. Okay, the family is growing in my eyes.
ごめんなさい。女の化粧は長いのよ。
I already like Rudolf, but man,
どう？
Kyrie is also really good right now.
兄弟水入らずの話し合いは。
さぞや和気あいあいとしてるだろうよ。
Kyrie's son poked the weak spot under my arm with her elbow.
一度頭を冷やそうってことで小休止さ。こりゃ夜通しになりそうだぜ。
Man, look at... Just hear the music.
泣けてくれ。
Okay. His way of talking hadn't changed, but he couldn't completely hide his fatigue. I couldn't say I was sympathetic, but he looked pitiful compared to his normal, energetic self.
しかしひでえ雨だな。ゲストハウスに戻るのも嫌になるぜ。夏日姉さんが屋敷で泊まれるよう準備してくれたらしい。どうする
？3階になった時に考えてもいいんじゃない？部屋に戻る体力もなくなってたら、その時はお世話になりましょうよ。
そうだな。その時に考えりゃいいか。バトラーはどうする？
俺がいちゃお邪魔だろうからよ。気使って向こうに戻るぜ。
そうか。すぐ戻るのか？
さあな。一人で戻ったって寂しいしよ。子供全員で揃って帰ることにするぜ。
そうだな。そうするといい。それでバトラー、お前今夜はそうは簡単には寝ないだろう。
多分いとこたちとおしゃべりしてるだろうからな。夜更かししそうな気配はあるぜ。それがどうかしたのかよ。
そうか。もし大人たちの会議が終わってお前がまだ起きてたら、ちょいと家族でしたい話があるんだ。
なんだよ。柄にもねえな。
Apparently, Kyrie-san was thinking the same thing. What are you talking about? She asked him in a small voice. Looked like Kyrie-san didn't have a clue what was that talking about either.
キリエにも聞いてもらいたい話だ。後で話すから、今は聞くな。頼む。
I don't think there's anyone who ignores their family as much as this old bastard. And this was the guy that was asking us to have a talk as a family. Of Kyrie-san and I couldn't help but get wide-eyed.
そうビビった顔すんなよ。ビビりてえのは俺の方なんだ。
Oh, what are you speaking about here?
何しろ。
At that point, he swallowed his words for an instant. I don't remember that being the kind of person to artificially drum up suspense.
気持ち悪いぜ、親父。今、家族は全員揃ってるじゃねえかよ。もったいぶらずに言えよ。
俺は多分、今夜、殺されるだろうな。
What the fuck? I mean, he was dropping a lot of death flags on the earlier conversation, but oh my god, is Rudolf going to be the first victim? I thought it was going to be Kinzo, but it seems like a last conversation type deal right here. Talk as a family after the family conference. He's going to die. Man, the death flags are so obvious right now. And he says, no, we are going to have a talk as a family. What the fuck do you know? What the fuck do you know, Rudolf? What do you know? Speak now. Speak now. There was a huge crash of thunder. Must have been really cool. Is he going to really be the first victim? That expression, brightly illuminated by the lightning, was burned into my eyes. Yep, this is the last conversation type of deal here. Dad's face, which always looked so sure of itself and which always wore a taunting expression, was, for some reason that I couldn't explain, strangely frail. Man, I like you, Rudolf. Please don't die right now. I thought you were one of the culprits, one of the suspects to be the culprit. It was so worn out that he looked like a different person.
Huh? 何言ってんだよ、ガラでもね。
Don't joke about it. Just
同感よ。
just grill him. What does he know? How does he know that he's going to get murdered?
どうしたの？急に弱気ね。あなたらしくもない。
俺も化粧直しに行ってくる。
No. Go with him. He has so many death flags right now. Go with him. No. That turned away weakly. After that, only Kyrie-san and I were left, still wide-eyed.
なんだってんだ？今夜殺される？
Go with him, man.
まさか、あの妙な手紙のせいで、親父ビビっちまったのか？連続殺人者の映画の見過ぎだぜ。
Oh, I'm feeling called out right now. Kyrie's son didn't answer my light-hearted words and continued to stare at my dad's disappearing back.
バトラ君はルドルフさんに今話せと言ったら話さず立ち去った。みんなに話すことがあると言い出しながら答えなかった。どうして？チェス盤をひっくり返す。すると
話すと言っておきながら話せない矛盾。なんすかね。親父側から見ると何か見えてきますか？
ええ、見えるわよ。話したいことがある。でも自分から言い出す勇気がない。だから追ってきて俺に話しかけて聞き出してくれが正解ね。ついてくるなも逆の意味よ。ついてきて俺を問い詰めてくれが正解。まったく甘えん坊さんなんだから。
そういう推理でいいんすか？そんなんめちゃくちゃな。
No, that's probably correct.
名探偵や名刑事が男女の気持ちや心を推理できる？できないでしょ？異性の気持ちを探るのは何次元のトリックを暴くよりはるかに高度な技術なのよ。
I'm feeling called out.
私に言わせれば名作推理小説より恋愛小説の方がよっぽど難解なミステリーなんだから。
I'm feeling really targeted here.
はあ、そういうもんすかね。
私はあの甘えん坊さんと一緒にいるわ。普段は虚勢を張ってるけど、今夜はかなりの激論で疲れ切ってる。誰かに寄りかかりたい気持ちなんでしょうね。それに応えるのがパートナーの役目よ。
はあ、そりゃお熱いことで。じゃあ、うちのクソ親父の世話をよろしく頼みますよ。
ええ、任せておいて。
Curious son departed, I called out to her.
え？何？
いや、ありがとよって、おかげで、陰鬱な気分がだいぶ晴れたぜ。
ならよかった。コミュニケーションは大事ね。
After answering with a wink, Curious son followed after that. Shouldn't you follow? Shouldn't you follow Rudolf as well? Because talk as a family, not just Kyrie. Come on, Battler. Go talk to Rudolf, see what he wants. That's the best choice right now. At least you can gather some information before the murders start happening. Natsuhi could be found in the dimly lit hallway. Natsuhi is also a suspect for delivering the letter. She was alone in her room, and she had no alibi. Now and then the thunder would crash. This had no effect on Natsuhi's expression. Her expression was completely worn out. The discussion that had just taken place between the relatives in the dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuhi's mind. Oh, the music again. Beatrice had proclaimed that in addition to the gold, the headship and all the assets of the Ushuriya family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Krauss, as the older brother, had to succeed the family had. Originally, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to succeed ahead. Then, this proposal by Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obvious they would accept Beatrice's proposal. Even without playing clumsy detective games, she knew that the so-called 19th person, Beatrice, couldn't exist. Man, I'm feeling a little bit called out here. I'm being attacked. All my theories are being already figured out by people. This was a message employing a fictional character called Beatrice as a messenger. May as well have been written by Kinzo's own handwriting. Oh no! Are they already realizing that it was Kinzo? So then this can't be the true answer, right? Proof was that Kinzo remained somberly neutral as to the letter's authenticity. Oh my god. He was completely ignoring these reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore. He had given up the head's ring. In short, Kinzo had worthlessly admitted that the letter held his own message. Most likely one of the servants. Oh my god! No! No! This early into the game. Oh no. Most likely one of the servants had given Maria the letter. Or the music. Again. Kinzo had probably worked out an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared and given to Shannon was my theory about Kinzo being the one to deliver the letter. So Kinzo tasked Shannon or Kumasawa and Shannon to do it. But now my theory is being confirmed so early in the game. That means it isn't true. And I feel so bad right now. I'm about to cry. Then someone, probably Shannon or Shannon, would be able to wear it and deliver the letter and the umbrella. Oh my god, I have to throw that theory out the window. And right now it's Natsuhi's point of view, so she can't be the culprit, right? So only Rosa is left. Ava and Hideyoshi have the... Oh my god. Oh, I'm feeling so bad right now. My theories are in shambles. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. My theories. No, if anything, that is why you could be certain that Kinzo was behind all of this. In that case, it was just as Kinzo butted in on the siblings' private discussion. Oh. My theory can still hold up if he's challenging Beatrice as the culprit herself, and the culprit is one of the siblings that already found the gold, and he's challenging the culprit. It could still hold true. And by announcing that he would give everything to the person who could solve the riddle, Kinzo had weakened Krauss's overwhelming advantage. Now it was certain. Kinzo had listened in on the siblings' discussions in the parlor earlier that day, and Shannon was the one who reported everything. So he had known how Krauss had staved off the attack by the other three, and to make the scales of the battle go back into balance, he had sent out a strange letter which benefited the other three. Ava and Rudolf had dragged Rosa in, who had a weak position among the siblings because of her age. I mean, Rosa is getting more and more suspicious, and they were trying once again to overwhelm Krauss 3-on-1 and push through their crazy reasoning. And so they had resumed what had once been a nearly decided conflict, and were repeatedly pressing Krauss to pay them a large amount of money. Talk about the advance payments, which had been denied once already, was being brought up again under the terms that all the siblings would guarantee Krauss the succession to the family head. Of course, even without the story about the hidden gold, the Yoshimiya family store of wealth was vast, because that store was worth more than enough by itself. Even if the hidden gold was buried forever along with Kinzo's death, there would be more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they had no interest in the gold itself, there would be a lifelong fear that on the off chance that someone found the gold, that person would be granted the position of family head. This kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage of by someone sooner or later. Or it already happened, and Kinzo did not give that person the family head position because he wants the gold to himself. He doesn't want his idiot children to have it. So one of the children already found it. Children, no, the siblings. One of the siblings already found it, probably Rosa. Or Ava. Maybe Krauss. Rudolf has death flags right now. So one of the siblings already found it. They weren't given the position because Kinzo doesn't like his own family. So Kinzo is challenging the one who found the gold. And the one who found the gold is getting very angry. The only person with this fatal weakness was the successor to the head, Krauss. The other siblings had found. No, they had been told by Kinzo about this something that only Krauss could lose. They had thoroughly taken advantage of that. Natsuhi, as Krauss's only ally in this painful position, and as his wife, had believed that she was fighting alongside him. Oh, but he threw you under the bus earlier on. She kept trying to point out to him that the existence of the gold itself was a farce. There was no need for him to compromise. Krauss had always told Natsuhi, I told all the siblings. He had always said that this hidden gold was nothing more than fiction created by Kinzo. Therefore, Natsuhi had believed that as his wife, and on that foundation had supported her husband. Yet her words would not reach him. Even though she was fighting so hard and lending all her strength, he continued to fight him by himself and was trying to compromise with all the other three siblings. Wondering why she could not be of use to him, Natsuhi felt sorrow, shame, and then anger. Man, she's such a great partner. Why do you gotta suck so much, Krauss? It had happened when everyone decided to take a short break to cool their heads. Natsuhi had flared up against Krauss. Enraged, she had asked why she could not be useful to him. He had told her that he wanted to talk about something and had invited her into one of his private rooms, which she was normally not allowed to enter. That room had been sealed with a heavy-looking padlock, and just looking at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling.
他の3人の言うことも、ベアトリーチェを名乗る不審人物の言うことも、何も気にかけることはありません。黄金など所詮はお父様が生み出したまやかし。それを見つけられることなどあるわけがない。あなたが跡継ぎであることは盤石です。何を恐れることがあるのです。
Krauss removed the padlock on the door. He then motioned for Natsuhi to enter.
入りたまえ。
何ですか？
見せたいものがある。
Krauss is going to kill his own wife?
君に初めて見せるものだ。
Natsuhi timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for the light switch to turn on the lights. This was her first time in the room. She didn't know where it was. Krauss entered behind her, pushing her in, and closed the door before making any attempts to turn on the lights. The two were swallowed by darkness. Jeez, Krauss is going to kill her? Only the sound of Krauss locking the door rang out through the dark.
これは何事ですか？明かりは？
今つける。待ちたまえ。
Oh my god, I'm so tense. Oh, true to his words, Krauss pushed the switch on the wall and a flickering light turned on and lit up the room.
それは。
As he had their breath taken away, the room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table had been set. The lights brightened only that table, as if it were the leading part in a play. Laid out on top of the table was a red tablecloth of elaborate design covered with dust. On top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm had been set down. That something took Natsuhi's breath away. Bar. Is it a bar? Oh, shit.
凄まじい純度を持つ黄金のインゴットだよ。
Is Krauss the culprit? Oh, that makes so much sense. Why he wasn't embezzling money. He delivered that as proof so he could get as collateral so he could get money for his businesses, isn't that right? So he used the same tactics as his father, saying that he had 10 tons of gold, showed a bar of gold, and then got money for his businesses. Oh, but did is he the culprit? Did he find the gold already?
こいつがなければ誰も黄金伝説を信じはしなかった。
Did he find the gold already? It was an ingot of solid gold. But maybe Krauss is the culprit and Kinzo is challenging him by using the name BEATRICE. Oh, this got interesting. It was a solid ingot of gold. Even in the faint light, it sparkled with noble and dignified gold glint.
こいつはまともなインゴットじゃない。このインゴットを鋳造したのが国内なのか国外なのか、それすらも私にはわからないんだ。
It takes a high level of skill to make that pure of solid gold ingots. In order to verify the purity, it stands to have the original foundry and the name of the bank that guaranteed it imprinted on the gold. Yeah, that's true, but this one doesn't have it. However, this ingot didn't have that kind of seal. This mysterious gold bar had come from an unknown foundry.
ここを見たまえ。
So he wasn't stealing. He stole from his father, theoretically. He found the gold and used it to get more money.
怯えることはない。こいつはただの金塊だ。
Natsuhi, following Krauss's words, timidly approached the ingot.
そこだ。
Krauss pointed at the surface of the ingot. Natsuhi concentrated on that section. Right there was a thin imprint of the one-eyed winged eagle crest. Natsuhi's breath was taken away once again.
そうだよ。これこそが、親父がベアトリーチェに与えられたといい、保証人のマルソーの会長に任意で一つを抜き取らせて持ち帰らせ、財界のフィクサーたちを信用させたという、伝説のインゴットなのだよ。方々に手を尽くして私が見つけた。
Wait, you didn't find the gold? Oh, so you don't have the gold, but you have a piece of the amount, and you're using the same kind of tactic as your father did. Use that as collateral so you can get a lot of loans and a lot of investment.
そんな。じゃあお父様の黄金伝説は
実在する。後ろ宮金蔵が授けられたベアトリーチェの
Or maybe
実在するのだよ。
Or maybe it's just one piece of it, and Kinzo has been swindling everyone thus far. Just got one piece of it, engraved his own insignia onto it, and basically conned everyone to build his own wealth. Now Krauss is using the same tactic, but he's failing. Can't get enough money to pay for his businesses, so he has to sell them.
そんな。
Maybe it's just this one bar. He was shocked. Krauss had always said that Kinzo's gold was just a fabrication, so she had believed it as his wife. However, the reality was different. He had definite proof and had been more than certain that other siblings that the legend of the gold was true. Maybe now I can get another theory. Krauss is building the resort on this island, so he wants to excavate this place so he can find the gold. But maybe the gold doesn't exist, and instead only this one bar exists, and he's been fooled. That's amazing. Because of this, Krauss was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself. This is another type of motive, where the gold doesn't actually exist, but the idea of it is going to cause the murders. Because of this, Krauss was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself would find the gold that he had failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsuhi, this truth was more than enough to split open her heart. She had thought that as Krauss's wife, she should have been his closest confidant, which was why she had been selflessly supporting him. Oh, she feels betrayed right now. And yet, he had hidden this fact from her until today. Man, the music is so good. Why?
そこまでに私はあなたの信頼に足りないというのですか?
Oh my god, her voice actress is amazing.
そういうつもりはない。話す必要がなかっただけだ。
Is Krauss the same as Okonogi from Higurashi?
あなたにとっては妻はその程度のものなのですか?
Oh my god, her voice.
落ち着きたまえ。
The wind. Oh, I'm getting tense again. I've been trained like a Pavlovian dog to fear the wind.
劇場にすぐ駆られるのは君の悪い癖だ。
あなたがそうさせてるんじゃないですか?
Oh, is Krauss going to snap?
私は後ろ宮家に嫁ぎ、今日まであなたの妻として仕えてきました。
Please don't snap at your own wife.
あなたのために生まれた家を捨て、身も心も捧げてお仕えしてきました。その報いがこれなんですか?
Please don't be like Rosa and slap your own wife. Please don't. Please. Can you promise not to do this, Krauss? Can you promise? Please don't be more slimy than you already are. Do not slap Natsuhi, okay? Capiche? Okay?
そんなことって。
Krauss grimaced, looking annoyed. Please don't slap your own wife, please. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuhi.
私はもうあなたの力になれそうもありません。
Oh man.
それでいい。
Oh, I feel so bad.
兄弟のトラブルは私が自分の力で解決する。君の力は借りんよ。
違います。これは後ろ宮家のトラブルです。確かに私にはこの身に家紋を刻むことが許されていません。でもあなたの妻です。
Please don't slap your wife.
なのに私には力添えする資格もないのですか?
Please don't slap your wife.
あなた
君を思えばこそあえて関わらせなかったのだ。これ以上は頭痛に障るだろう。君は今夜はこれで休みたまえ。兄弟の話は兄弟でつける。君は関係ない。それだけだ。
Oh my god. Oh, he didn't slap her. Thank God. Oh my god. The drama is being injected to my veins right now. I feel the drama in my blood. The dull headache tormented Natsuhi. Man, I feel so bad for her right now. She got thrown on the bus earlier, and now, again, she gets betrayed. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scents she burned, it wouldn't heal. On the other hand, by standing here alone in the dimly lit corridor, her head filled with the sound of the rain, she felt like that pain had softened a little. It may have been Natsuhi, but I was not Ushiromiya Natsuhi. Denigrated as being a sorry excuse for a wife, verbally abused, and not even being able to take care of that. Even so, I tried to properly perform the duties of a wife. I have been rejected even by my husband. Did my best raising my daughter, as though it was the last job left for me. However, my anger and sadness, having no place to go, caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Because I have been excessively strict in Jessica's education and truly disliked by her. Jessica despises me for not being interested in anything but grades. There is no longer anything I can do for the Ushiromiya family. No. I don't think that. I don't think that Jessica necessarily hates you. She's just, I don't know. Earlier on, she was quite shocked that you were going at it. That sounded weird. She was just shocked that you were speaking about the inheritance and stuff. But she was shocked. She wasn't saying, "Oh, I already knew that they were so bad." She was really shocked. So I think that she's still there for you. Don't do anything. Oh my god, I'm getting so many death flags right now. I'm getting Natsuhi death flags. I'm getting Rudolf death flags. I'm getting Kingzo death flags. What else? Shannon. Shannon is a walking death flag, so I don't know. What else? George is a walking death flag as well. No, that's not good. And so, I must help my husband dislodge the schemes of the other greedy siblings. The head won't be around for much longer. Eventually, Krauss will succeed the head. And the next successor will be Jessica. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family but marrying Jessica will become the next head. It all comes down to the same thing. I have to make Jessica an excellent successor. Will everyone accept as the worthy to take over the Ushiromiya family? In the years to come, that greedy Ushiromiya Eva will surely be continually plotting to find some fault with the main family, so that if all goes as she plans, Jessica will be dragged down from the succession with George in her place. Oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. It is regrettable, but George is a man, even more, as matured as a person. Compare him to Jessica, who is right in the middle of her rebellious period, and whose grades are below average. You can see at a glance who is more fit to succeed ahead. So in order to secure Jessica's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. By doing that, I want to find her an excellent husband, worthy of the excellent person she will have become. A wonderful man who will truly accept Jessica and stay with her through all of life's joys and sorrows. Was that Natsuhi's trying to entrust her daughter with fulfilling some desire of her own? Natsuhi thought back to the days she's had no choice but to marry into the Ushiromiya family because of that unavoidable fate. She had tried to block that from her memory. She had consciously forgotten that and had actively attended to the life that she had been given as Shirami and Natsuhi. This was the new life she had built. But it felt like, just now, all that had been casually rejected. Man, Natsuhi. Natsuhi helplessly rested her head against the glasses of the window. She's giving me so much death flags right now. Her, Rudolf, and Kinzo. The glass cooled by the raindrops beating against it was somehow refreshing. Even though it had no emotions, right then it seemed to be the only thing that could understand Natsuhi. Even if someone showed up there and saw her like this, Natsuhi had no intention of caring in the least. But if she found herself caring, because it was her beloved daughter. Oh, is Jessica here?
母さんか。なんだよ、こんなところに。幽霊かと思ったぜ。
Just like always, her words were rough and not all like a girl's. Instinctively, words of rebuke rose to Natsuhi's throat. However, they did so only weakly, and so she was able to prevent them from escaping her lips.
Jessica, ごめんね。母さんは頭痛がひどいの。そっとしといてくれる。
そう。
Man, I wouldn't want to have chronic headaches like this. Jessica was more than slightly disconcerted by this first ever sight of feebleness from her mother. Until just now, she had been filled with contempt for all the parents, including her mother. But now, not the slightest bit of that feeling remained. All of it had been wiped out by her mother's completely exhausted face. In its place, the words that George had told her floated back upon her mind. The parents are doing their best in their own way. They're supporting their family so they can afford to keep everything pleasant and have a heavy responsibility to fight. From her mother had been staying around this dimly lit hallway because no one had tried to understand that. Jessica didn't like her mother, so she had no instinct to give her mother words of kindness just because she looked a little frail. Therefore, in order to give these words regardless, she had to clench both her fists and wrench the words out from the depths of her heart.
ずいぶん立て込んだ話をしてるようじゃん。
お前には関係あります。よそへ行っていなさい。
頭痛ひどい？私、薬もらってこようか。
構わないで結構です。お願いだから、一人きりにして。
He was not trying to be cold to her. She just wanted to get her daughter far away from her, so that she could avoid subjecting her to her short temper. There was no chance that her intentions would reach Jessica. Jessica hung her head, looking sad. Looking at that expression, he realized that Jessica was trying to muster up the strength to be kind to her mother. She gave her head a small shake as to drive away her own unkind feelings.
じゃあ私、行くよ。大人の邪魔にならないように、いとこたちと一緒にいるから。じゃあ。
お待ちなさい。
Oh, look at Natsuhi's face. Oh my god. Natsuhi, you're climbing up. She called Jessica, about to make her desolate exit to a stop.
何？
気遣いを。ありがとう。お前を残して寝込むわけにはいきません。
よせよ。縁起でもないぜ。
心配をかけました。もう大丈夫です。私は行きます。
Staying here any longer with such feeble expression would actually make her daughter feel more uncomfortable. Thinking this, Natsuhi left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. This time, it was Jessica who called out to her mother's back. Natsuhi stopped, turned around, and asked what she wanted. But Jessica herself didn't know why she had stopped her mother. And for a while, she muttered to herself with a slightly forced smile as she hesitated over what to say. She was poking around in her pocket when her hand touched something, and she took it out.
さ、母さん。私さ、今日、お守りもらったんだよ。なんだっけな。魔除けだったっけ？確かその、ドアノブにぶら下げてるといいんだっけ？忘れちまったぜ。私が持ってても仕方ないし。母さんにあげるよ。
It was the scorpion charm that Maria had given her by the beach that day. Although she had heard of its various effects from Maria, right now Jessica's mind was blank. It was all she could do to say even that much. Thinking that her mother probably wouldn't accept the charm anyway, Jessica immediately drawn back the hand, offering it to her. So when Natsuhi came back and took hold of her hand, she was extremely surprised.
これは?
Oh, she's smiling. Oh.
何かの景品？
まあその、私も多分そうだろうと思ってるけどよ。
Is this another death flag?
こんなおもちゃみたいなお守りじゃ、ご利益は期待できねえよな。
I mean, Jessica's going to give that as a present and then going to find her mother's body with the gift. Oh no, is this a death flag? But her mother took the scorpion charm from her grip.
ありがとう。
This feels like a death flag.
大切にします。ジェシカには今度、私が子供の頃大切にしていたお守りを代わりにあげましょう。
No, I don't want you to die, Natsuhi. I like you now. No, she's giving more death flags.
別にそんなつもりで渡すんじゃないぜ。
So Rudolf and Natsuhi.
でもまあどうしてもって言うなら。
では、私はもう休みます。頭痛がひどいので、ジェシカもあまり夜更かしをしすぎないように。
うん。
Natsuhi put the charm in her pocket and turned away. She then disappeared into the dark hall.
やっぱり明日も丸一日こんな天気みたいだね。
The clock again.
やれやれ。今日の日中が嘘のようだぜ。
George, Nikki, and I were killing time in front of the parlor television. At this point, Jessica had returned. Her face was still blank, but it looked as she calmed down a little, so she had left.
マリアはまだ肖像画前？
いや、さっき戻ってきて、今はそっちのソファーで寝てるぜ。マリアにはもう遅い時間だもんな。
Looking at the clock, it was a little past 10 p.m. Even if we were going to stay up all night, it was about time to head back to our room.
一応、うちのお袋が屋敷にも部屋を用意してくれたんだけどよ。どうする？
I'm going...
僕はゲストハウスに戻りたいかな。
But it's raining, man.
親たちの様子を見る限り、僕たちはお屋敷にいない方がいいと思う。
No, stay in the mansion. Things are going to happen here, I guess. A lot of parents are getting death flags right now. Stay in the mansion and might get some clues.
俺も同感だぜ。子供は邪魔せず引っ込んでろって感じみてえだからな。おとなしくそうするさ。
After we discussed that, Auntie Rosa came into the parlor. I'm suspecting you, Rosa. Rosa. right now your number one suspect right now. Ava as well. She was looking all over restlessly, probably trying to find Maria.
ローザおばさん。マリアならそこのソファーっすよ。
ありがとう。すっかり眠っちゃってるわね。ベッドに移さないと。
よかったら僕がベッドまで背負っていきましょうか。
It's better if she stays with the cousins, because right now I'm thinking people are going to die right now. The cousins aren't going to die this soon, I guess.
ありがとう。助かるわ。ジョージ君たちはゲストハウスに戻るの？それとも夏日姉さんが用意してくれた部屋に泊まるのかしら？
今話し合ってました。ゲストハウスへ戻ろうかって話になったところです。
そう。
They're going to be away.
ならマリアも一緒にしてあげてもいいかしら。
And this is saying that they can confirm each other's alibi, so the cousins will not be the murderers.
いとこのみんなと一緒の方がきっと安心できると思うしね。
So they're going away, and the murders will happen in a mansion. It seems. It seemed that while in the shadow behind the words, there was some regret that the adults, herself included, had deeply hurt Maria's feelings.
任してくださいよおばさん。何しろこっちにゃマリアをあやすことに関してはエキスパートがいるっすからね。
それは僕のことかい？
No, he was talking about himself.
僕だけじゃ無理だよ。みんなでだよ。
そうだぜ。
And you were so rationalizing earlier on about leaving her while her mother abused her. Not falling for your fake kindness anymore, George.
バトラだってあんなにもマリアと意気投合してふざけ合ってたじゃねえかよ。
As we said this, Auntie Rosa smiled, looking truly happy.
みんなありがとう。
Is Rosa? Oh man, I don't know. She apologized, I guess, but
私たちの話し合いはだいぶ遅くまでかかりそう。
she slapped her own child in front of everyone. That's not common at all.
だから申し訳ないけどマリアをみんなにお願いするわ。
おーいマリア熟睡か？ゲストハウスに戻るぞ。
Maria muttered something indistinct as if answering, then rolled over and fell back asleep. Looked like she was sleeping deeply. I needed to carry her through the rain.
すっかり寝込んじゃったようだぜ。起こすのは悪いな。
僕が背負うよ。
Not with that face, won't. Stop with the cloudy glasses, please. Maria's body was much lighter than it looked. George and Nikki picked her up and pulled her over his back. Didn't George struggle earlier on with Maria when he met her? It was raining hard outside, and then Nikki couldn't hold an umbrella and carry Maria at the same time. Auntie Rosa would come with us as far as the guest house to have out. However, when she heard Uncle Krauss's voice calling out for her, she had no choice but to return.
困ったわね。もう戻らないと。 皆さん、ゲストハウスまでお戻りですか？
After we left the hall on the way to the entrance, the door to the servant room opened, and Shannon stepped out.
だいぶ暗くなっておりますので、私がご案内させていただきます。ちょうどよかったわ、シャノンちゃん。ジョージ君がマリアをおぶっていってくれるの。傘をさしてあげてくれないかしら。はい、かしこまりました。
Shannon brought umbrellas for each of us and a flashlight to guide the way. As we opened the front door, the downpour was quite terrific. It looked like we wouldn't have any spare time to take a pleasant walk and enjoy the nighttime rose garden.
兄貴、重くねえか？ 俺が背負うぜ。
大丈夫だよ。マリアちゃんくらい背負えるよ。
Yeah.
本当にありがとうね。マリアをよろしくお願い。
わかりました。じゃあおやすみなさい、おばさん。
それではお送りしてまいります。ええ、よろしく。
Auntie Rosa saw us off.
マリア、いつもごめんね。
Every character is getting their own death flags. Oh my god, what is happening here? Rosa's mumbling voice didn't reach the person in question, nor anyone else. It disappeared beneath the sound of the rain. Oh my god! Even Rosa's getting death flags. What the hell is happening here? After cutting through the rainy rose garden, we arrived at the guest house.
俺がマリアを背負って立候補すりゃよかったぜ。そうすりゃ傘を差してくれるシャノンちゃんのでっけえお胸を二の腕でたっぷり堪能できたってのによ。
The only con to a Battler's character is this.
そんなつもりじゃないよ。誤解だよ。
そうしないとジョージ様が濡れてしまうと思いまして。
ほーら、バカなこと言ってないで入るぜ。
After being nudged by Jessica, Shannon folded up her umbrella and went into the guest house.
お召し物を濡らしてしまった方はいらっしゃいませんか？タオルを用意いたしますが。
そこまで気を使わなくていいぜ。ありがとよ、シャノンちゃん。
そうだ。僕たちはこれからトランプでもして少し遊ばないかって話なんだけど、よかったら少し一緒しないかい？
あれ？今日のシフト、深夜勤は誰になってんだ？
親族会議中は特別シフトになってたと思いました。少し変更も出てるみたいなので、ちょっと確認してきます。
ああ、わざわざ屋敷に戻らないとわからないんなら無理に。
大丈夫です。ゲストハウスの使用人室でわかりますので、ちょっと失礼しますね。
Shannon gave a quick bow, went to the guest house servant room. The rest of us headed for the cousin's room and put Maria in the bed for the time being. Maria was sleeping very deeply. There was absolutely no sign of her eyes opening. Got some drinks out of the room's refrigerator and spent some time playing cards while drinking. Alcohol?
あれ？カノン君？源氏様までこちらに。今夜のシフトはどうなっているのでしょうか？
クラウス様の命令があってね、シフトの大掛かりな変更があったんだよ。
ゴーダがお屋敷の深夜勤に変更になった。シャノンとカノンはゲストハウスの深夜勤。私と熊沢はゲストハウスに泊まるようにとのご命令だ。
Holy shit.
お前も今夜はこのままこちらにとどまるよう。たった今電話があった。
ずいぶん大掛かりな変更ですね。
So, all the servants are going to be in the guest house. The murder going to happen here?
お屋敷とゲストハウスの当番がまるっきり逆になってるじゃないですか。
Perhaps two separate murders. One in the guest house and one in the mansion. And people are going to try to find out how the culprit could have killed. That seems... Oh, that could be very, very, very cool. Originally, Shannon and Cannon had been given the night shift in the mansion. But the night shift in the guest house, where all the relatives were staying, had been assigned to Goda, who had an abundance of experience in entertaining. Masao-san had been scheduled to stay in the guest house, while Genji had been scheduled to stay in the mansion. So Genji, Shannon, and Ken were supposed to be in the mansion, Masawa and Goda in the guest house. Now Goda is in the mansion and the other servants all in the guest house. This is getting interesting. Oh my god. A double murder right off the bat, maybe. One in the mansion and one in the guest house. Maybe George and maybe Rudolf. However, it seemed that Krauss had suddenly ordered the schedule be modified. The shifts at the guest house and the mansion had all been reversed, and Genji was spending the night in the guest house.
多分ベアトリーチェ様の手紙のせいだろうね。
多分ってどうして？
あんな怪しげな手紙が現れたらクラウス様が僕たちを疑うのは当然だからね。
So my theory that Kinzo used one of the servants to deliver the letter was wrong, because they're now discussing it right now, and Natsuhi already figured it out as well, so that can't possibly be true. So that letter was delivered by someone who already found the ring, actually found the ring, but they still have to have a letter. Maybe they had an old letter from their father and used the seal with the ring afterwards. Maybe that was it.
親方様直属の僕たちを極力親族会議の席から遠ざけたかったんだろうよ。
Genji, Shannon, and Cannon were all permitted to wear the Ushirimiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, as the servants who served directly under Kinzo. Of course, since they were working for the Ushirimiya family, they had to obey anyone's orders, but their only boss was Kinzo. Since only Kinzo had the right to employ them, even Krauss could not have them dismissed on his own accord. Because of this, they were often viewed by Krauss and the others as Kinzo's underlings and shunned. That has a semblance of truth, because Cannon was spying on the conference, so... And in reality, Kinzo would seldom let anyone other than them enter his study. He probably called this sudden change a clear expression of that sense of distrust. Consider the time Kinzo had left to live. This would definitely be the last family conference before the problem of the inheritance would come up. On top of that, the mysterious letter that claimed to be from BEATRICE had dropped in out of the blue. Krauss definitely wanted to keep Kinzo's loyal subjects away from the table of such a delicate and important discussion.
ではすまんが、私は向こうでくつろがせてもらう。もし何かあったらすぐに呼ぶよう。今夜のお客様は特別だ。
I'm hearing the thunder.
はい、かしこまりました。源氏様。
Genji nodded back, went behind the screen, took off his jacket, and slowly began to relax after a day's worth of tensions. This feels very ominous right now.
今お戻りになられたのはお子様方？
親族の方々はお屋敷で会議を。だいぶ長引きそうな雰囲気だったかな。
なら気楽だね。これ以上の深夜になって、しかもこの天気。多分親族の皆さんはお屋敷の方のお部屋にお泊まりさ。
I love Ken's voice. Is it a voice actress or a voice actor? I don't know.
多分ね。源氏様がいないから言うけど、ゲストハウス行きになってちょっと嬉しかったかな。
どうしてだい？意地悪な奥様やエヴァ様から離れられたから？それとも別の理由があるのかい？
別の理由なんかありません。
Is it because of Battler?
そっか。なら二人で深夜勤を頑張ろう。よろしく。 姉さん。
私、ついさっきお子様方にお部屋で遊ばないかとお呼ばれしてて。
It's a very cute sprite right there. Shannon hung her head apologetically and made uncertain glances towards Cannon's eyes. Cannon didn't try to meet her gaze and spoke curtly as he sighed. Looked like he didn't plan on indulging his sister.
ダメだよ。深夜勤仰せつかってる。それに僕たち家具には遊びのお誘いは必要ない。わかるね。
そんなことわかってます。
Shannon dropped her shoulders slightly. She had already expected the Cannon to consider the rules to be very important, and probably say something like that. But even so, she was a little discouraged. As Cannon turned the pages of the logbook, he spoke without facing Shannon.
なら、お子様方お待たせしてしまってるね。深夜勤に当たってしまったから、ご一緒できないと謝ってこなきゃ。行ってきなよ。
私、謝ってくるね。
Oh. Shannon hurriedly stood up from her seat before her brother's mood could change, gave a quick bow, and flew out of the servant's room. As he watched her disappear, Shannon took a single deep breath. Genji's voice came from beyond the screen.
カノン、私がここにいるから、お前も行くといい。
源氏様、誘われたのはシャノンだけです。僕は別に誘われては。
その場にいなかったからお声をかけられなかっただけだ。言えばお前も誘われている。たまには子供らしく遊んでくるといい。
Genji speaking truth. Genji speaking the truth right here.
いえ、僕には必要ない行為です。
Yeah, stop being an edgy boy, Cannon. Come, play with us, play cards.
人の子には遊びも必要でしょうが、僕らは家具ですから。
Again with the mentions of furniture.
そうか。
姉さんだって家具です。人のふりをしたって後で苦しむだけなのに、僕はそれが分かっているから人に近づきたくないだけなんです。
Genji did not say anything after that. Man, this feels weird. After a moment passed, and then he stood up, used a pot of hot water to make some hot chocolate from powder, and served it to Cannon as well.
そりゃ本当かよ。そりゃ知らなかったぜ。
バカ、声が大きいぜ。マリアが起きちゃうだろ。
Battler was so surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. His voice caused Maria to turn over once, but she soon fell back into a deep sleep. Jessica gave him a jab, and he lowered his voice.
いや、しかし言われてみれば確かにそれっぽい雰囲気はあったんだよな。なるほどな。ジョージの兄貴がな。
Wait. I thought Shannon liked Battler. Does Shannon like George instead? George could not be seen anywhere in the room. A short while ago, when Shannon had come into the room, George had suddenly said that he had forgotten something in the mansion and needed to go back and get it. Oh, I see. But Shannon had said she would guide him just like she had on the way to the guest house. The two of them had departed together.
いや、昔からそれっぽい気配はあったんだぜ。好きなものを聞いてきたり、趣味を聞いてきたりさ。単に関心を持つだけにしてはどうもなんて思ってたらよ。
そういや、昔からジョージの兄貴はシャノンちゃんにやたらと優しかった気がするぜ。
Isn't Shannon 16, man?
なるほどな。
Isn't Shannon 16 and George 23 years old? This feels... She's 16, right? I'm not mistaken about that? And he's 23. I thought she was...
天気予報によると今夜が一番ひどいみたい。
I thought George was too old, so she liked Battler instead, but George's 23 years old, man.
明日いっぱいもやまないらしいけど、もう少しマシになるそうだよ。
そうですか。
She's 16, right? Am I mistaken?
では、あさってまでは船は来られないかもしれませんね。ジョージ様の月曜日のお勤めに差し支えが出ないか心配です。
台風が来ていることは知っていたからね。万一に備えて月曜日には予定を入れなかったから大丈夫さ。こう見えてもスケジュールは先読みできるタイプなんだ。
George puffed out his chest, acting proud. Compared to the normally composed appearance that George always had as the oldest cousin, he now looked amusingly like a little kid. Shannon chuckled at this gap.
さすが、やがては会社を起こされる方はしっかりしていますね。
やっぱり会社を起こすというのは大変だね。お金とかそういうのだけじゃないものが父さんのところで勉強していてわかるよ。会社を起こすということは城を持ち部下を率いるということ。うちの父さんは秀吉って名前だけあって戦国武将のエピソードがとても好きでね。会社経営の哲学をよくそこから語るんだ。知ってるかい？戦国最強の騎馬軍団と恐れられた武田信玄も最初は部下たちの結束がバラバラで統率力をまるで発揮できなかったんだそうだよ。
そうなんですか？なんだか意外ですね。
信玄は部下たちを結束させるため数々のリーダーシップを発揮してるんだよ。例えば戦場で武功を立てた部下に対しすぐその場で報奨を与えたり、普通こういうのは戦が終わってからまとめてやるものだからね。それを戦場の本陣の中にいながら、部下の武功を素早く評価しやる気につなげたというのは非常に大きいことだよ。それから部下が病気で伏せった時には誰よりも早く駆けつけお見舞いをしたとかね。
Okay, this guy's good, but you aren't like this guy, George. You literally let Maria be abused right in front of your eyes. So you aren't that proactive.
武田信玄は戦国最強の騎馬軍団を率いただけじゃない。戦国一の部下思いの人だったんだよ。
そんな方だから部下の皆さんもついてきてくれたんですね。
And I'm saying right now, George, you aren't like him at all. You let Maria. I'm still fucking mad about it. Oh my god. The truth was, Shannon had already heard the story several years ago. But when George started to tie his father in with one of these stories, he would always be beaming, looking like he was having a great time. So Shannon did not interrupt, but merely smiled to encourage him to continue.
確かに資本主義の世界ではお金は力で石垣の高さでもある。でもね、戦も城も自分一人じゃ成り立たない。大勢の部下に支えられ、その力を借りて初めて成立するものなんだよ。
George is blushing right now.
それを理解してから父さんの背中を見ると、自分がいかに未熟で父さんがどれほどの切磋琢磨をして今日を築き上げてきたかがよくわかるんだ。
ジョージ様はお父様のことをとても尊敬されているんですね。羨ましいです。
ごめん、別にそういう意味で言ったんじゃないんだよ。
すみません。私も別にそういう意味で言ったつもりは。
Two of them awkwardly looked at their feet. Shannon had no parents. Oh, that's why. She had been brought up in a welfare institute owned by Kinzo called the Gospel House. Oh, place owned by Kinzo. Slaves. Is Kinzo... is Kinzo actually trafficking human lives right now? Under the guidance of the honorary director Kinzo, the Gospel House offered excellent students a chance to live a life of service. Oh shit! Kinzo is involved in human slavery. What the hell? If they were accepted, they would be able to leave the institute and work as servants for the Ushirimi event. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh a bit about that. Kinzo is actually involved in human slavery. Oh my god. There's no... He just keeps digging a hole and getting even deeper. He was already at the bottom of the barrel. This was considered to be the highest honor for a student. So basically he has an orphanage and trains his servants slash furniture slash slaves there. Huh? Servants from the Gospel House all took names with the character in, on, non in them while they served. So they even name the orphans. Oh my god. So Shannon wasn't her real name. The same goes for Canon. All the students of the Gospel House were orphans. Or failing that, people who had been disowned by their parents through some special circumstances. Because of this, the students had been taught to think of each other as their only family. That's why it seems so natural to Canon to call Shannon his sister. That makes sense, right? No. And while only Shannon and Canon were working today in the mansion, there were other servants who worked in the shift rotation named Manon and Lennon, who also inherited the on character in the name. However, there were not many servants who stayed with the Ushirimi family for long, because they are toxic as fuck. It was standard for them to quit after 3 years. So I could probably say that Shannon, who had been working for over 10 years, was a very rare exception to the rule. Working as a servant for the Ushirimi family was a heavy burden to bear, but the pay wasn't bad at all. Oh, so they aren't slaves. Working for a full 3 years were more than what was needed to enter the mainstream society. Oh, so it's worse than I thought. Okay. You aren't that horrible, Kinzo. You aren't that bad. That was why, even though the students realized what a harsh task working for the Ushirimi family was, they still hoped to be accepted. Oh, no. I'm not saying that. That is bad. If there's a selection process, then that is bad. But in Shannon's case, maybe the fact that she managed to continue for more than 10 years should not be viewed as her having more willpower than any of the other servants. Maybe it was a lack of courage to say that she wanted to quit, and forced her to continue working for those 10 years. Kinzo, who could not even trust his own blood relatives, those excellent servants sent from the Gospel House, were the only ones he could trust. Because of that, Kinzo would sometimes allow them to wear the family crest as servants under his direct control, and have them work close to him.
もう勤めて10年近くになるんだっけ?
She said she started working when she was 6. She is 16 years old, right?
だいぶ お金も貯まったんじゃないかい？
He is 23 years old.
どうでしょう。別に私、買いたいものも特にありませんし、ほんの何百万かあったって、それで残りの人生を過ごせるわけもありませんし。
目標の額があって、お勤めを続けてるわけじゃないのかい？
そうですね。私はこのお屋敷以外に行くあてもありませんし、お嬢様とも他の使用人の子たちとも仲良くやれてますし、奥様には時折お叱りを受けますけど、バラの世話やお屋敷のお掃除も楽しいですし。
でもそれはシャノンちゃんの、サヨちゃんの人生じゃない。
That's her new real name. Shannon cast her eyes downwards when she heard her real name. Yeah. She understood what George was trying to say and closed her mouth.
僕は成人し、社会人になってからも勉強して分かったことがある。子供の頃、僕らが思っていたほど、人生は単調で短くないんだ。
That horrifying thought that everyone has their own student years. For the rest of my life be like a monotonous, boring, sleep-inducing after-school class, where I endlessly, lazily while away the time until finally it ends without anything interesting ever happening. However, these thoughts only arise while a person is still an underage student. Compared to a human life, the time they spend as a student is nothing more than a blink of an eye. It's the period before they break out of their shells and cast off their immaturity. The inside of the shell might be a hot, suffocating, and boring world. The world beyond that shell is vast and filled with limitless possibilities.
君の人生はまだシャノンという殻の中でしかないんだ。君は自分の人生がこの生活のままずっと続いていくと勘違いしてるんじゃないかな。
それは。
Shannon couldn't deny those words. She hadn't been able to find any concrete issues with her way of life. And since she had never desired or goal to change herself in that particular way, she had continued her life idly, as if she were tasked with whether her life was already fulfilled. She wouldn't necessarily have been able to nod. It may have been a truth that she would deliberately avert her eyes from. As long as George did not realize that truth, she would have continued pretending not to notice as her real life slipped away, neglected bit by bit.
庄司様、私はこのままでいてはいけないのでしょうか？
いけないよ。あ、それから今、ルール違反が一つあったね。
George immediately gave a strict answer and then broke out with a mischievous smile. Shannon already knew what she was being chided for, and seemed that it embarrassed her as she hung her head.
僕たちしかいないときは、様はなしの約束だよ。
約束では聞けません。
I'm feeling extremely creeped out. This is so creepy. Oh my god. Can someone please remove me from this situation right now?
ですが、ご命令でしたら聞かないわけにはいきません。私は家具ですから。
じゃあ命令だよ。
It's so creeped out.
はい。かしこまりました、ジョージさん。
Please don't start a sex scene right after this. Please don't. Oh my god. I'm so creeped out. Shannon hung her head, her face red. She said George's name again, this time using son.
それでいいよ、さよちゃん。
Oh my, he's 23 years old. A smile rose to George's face, praising Shannon. No, Sayo's small act of rebellion. I'm 22 years old. And I never in my whole life would think of a 16-year-old that way. This is so creepy, man. A smile rose to George's face, praising Shannon's, no, Sayo's small act of bravery. The way they talked with each other gave off the sense that their relationship had already been ongoing for some time. What the fuck? For a long while, as if the weather raging around them didn't even enter their consciousness. The two of them talked about the many memories they built during their relationship that no one else knew about. Man, this is disgusting! Every once in a while, a flash of lightning would attempt to dampen the mood, but it could not sully the memories, which seemed to flush even the roses outside a deeper shade of red. Am I the only one feeling creeped out by this?
そうだ。君に見せたいものがあって。
Man. Oh my god.
なんでしょうか?
Look at his glasses. George, who had been speaking eloquently, suddenly started to stutter. For his manner, Shannon understood something. George timidly searched through his pocket for it. It got caught deep into his pocket somehow and came out somewhat slowly and awkwardly, the same manner as his speech. Don't tell me. Fuck me. Fuck me, dude. Fuck me, dude. Am I the only one feeling intensely creeped out by this? It was a very small box. Small box covered in a deep blue velvet. Are you really going to propose to a 16-year-old? Really? 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 Its characteristic shape was enough to make anyone realize what was resting inside. Yes, we can fucking tell it is what it is. Doesn't make any less creepy. Shannon had been preparing her heart a little, sure of what it must be. Even so, when she actually saw it, she couldn't avoid blushing once more. She's 16, right? Am I not wrong about that? Please tell me she's 18 at least. George opened the small box, took it out, and held out for Shannon to take.
これを君に受け取ってほしいんだ。
No, say no.
このような高価なものは、その、
He's literally grooming you.
受け取れない。
いえ、その、
Yes, don't accept it.
私には、過ぎていて。
さよ。
Fuck me, dude.
これはお願いじゃない。
No, don't say it's an order. Please, fuck me, dude. Oh no, shit. And the music is so happy, so triumphant.
命令だよ。
Fuck
この指輪を
you.
受け取って。
Fuck you, George.
ね。
And she's happy about it. He's literally grooming her. Oh my god, this is bad.
命令では従わなくてはなりません。
うん。そうだね。いい子だよ。
I guess this is the 80s in Japan, so that's so bad. Shannon, not wanting to show her bright red face, timidly accepted the ring from George's hands, while still staring at the ground. That ring wasn't a simple accessory. It was a noble object, which since ancient times was meant to be offered to a special woman with a special meaning. So while George could not order her to take it, So while George could order her to take it, he could not order anything beyond that. And if anything beyond that would depend not on an order, but on Shannon's, no, Sayo's own will. Fuck. I'm sorry, I can't ship this. I cannot. He's 5 years older than her, and she's still a minor. He's 23 years old. He's 1 year older than me, and I feel so creeped out. People in my university, freshmen, 18-year-old girls look like babies. I cannot think anything. I can only date my age or older. I cannot date younger. I'm sorry. I feel so creeped out about it. I'm 22 years old right now, and it feels so wrong watching this. I don't know.
Sayo, 明日までに言葉でない形で返事がもらいたい。
I'm hoping I'm not the only one feeling like this, but I'm sorry if anyone ships those two.
わかるね。
どうすれば？
もうこれ以上は命令じゃないから、僕は君に命令はしない。でも、指輪は指にするものだからね。
Is the music a little bit distorted?
気に入ってくれたなら、好きな指につけてくれればいい。
Just throw it on the garden. Shannon Helm pretended not to know. She had already understood what he wanted her to do. She was standing at a huge crossroads of her life. Dude, you're 16! You shouldn't be thinking about that now. Yeah, people marry... I've seen people marry when they're 18 years old. But still, that's way too big of a responsibility for that age.
もうこんな時間だね。今夜はこれくらいにしよう。
George faced away from Shannon, seeming slightly uncomfortable.
君に左手につけてほしいと命令することもできるかもしれない。君も命令されればそれに従えるという臆病な甘えがあるかもしれない。でも最後のここだけは君のサヨの意志でしてもらいたいんだ。
At least he's leaving the choice to her, but still, feels a little bit wrong.
わかるね。
はい。
If he's already proposing to her, then they already taken this relationship way too far already.
だから、それが命令。今夜よく考えて、明日その返事を見せてほしい。
Shannon nodded back. Today was the culmination of their long relationship. They keep saying it. Oh my god, I feel so disgusted by this. This moment had not come as any surprise to Shannon.
そろそろゲストハウスに戻ろうか。これ以上遅いとみんなを心
I
配させ
already
ちゃうよ。
felt bad for Natsuhi because Krauss doesn't care about her. And now I'm feeling bad for Shannon for being groomed here.
すみません。私、お屋敷に用を思い出しまして、お屋敷へ行かねばなりません。
こんな時間に本当かな。
George stared into Shannon's face as he laughed mischievously. He had seen through that obvious lie of Shannon's. But, imagining how she felt, it was as if he couldn't understand her embarrassment, and why she might be asked to be alone. And so, George, having understood Shannon's lie, and all that was behind it, allowed her to leave. I'm getting so emotionally drained. There's too much drama. And not enough death. I need some people dying, please. Let me return to my mansion mystery. Shannon entered the entrance hall to the mansion with a towering gate. The chest was filled with almost the bursting point with a mixture of exaltation and uncertainty that she couldn't easily describe. After stopping for a second in front of the servants' room to take a deep breath and calm her heart, she opened the door. Inside, Goda, who had been ordered to take care of the midnight shift at the mansion tonight, was absorbed in an old worn-out crossword puzzle magazine. He looked up for an instant to see whether one of the family had come. When he realized it was a fellow servant, he returned to his puzzle after nothing had happened.
源氏様より郷田さんのお手伝いにつくように言われてまいりました。
That's a lie.
ああ、そうですか。それは助かります。そろそろ戸締まりの見回りに行きたかったのですが、ここを開けてもいいものか困っていたのです。何しろ旦那様方の会合はまだだいぶ続きそうですからね。いつ何時お茶のご用命があるかもわかりませんし。
そうですよね。ではどうしましょうか。私が留守番を。
ではシャノンさん、申し訳ありませんが、お屋敷内の見回りをお願いします。
This guy being slimy again.
私はここで親族の皆さんのご用命の待機をしておりますので。
He wants all the glory.
はい。
Shannon felt a twinge of annoyance. Despite the fact that she had come here to help out as a favor, she was being forced to do the job of the person actually on duty, as though it were natural. Furthermore, after one-sidedly forcing the task on her, Rudolf had once again gone back to his magazine and had become immersed in his crossword puzzle. Man, this episode drained me a lot. For the time being, as a sign of respect to her elder, Shannon bowed her head and she left the room to make the rounds. Getting a little angry had enabled her to bring the airy sensation she had been feeling until now under control a bit. Besides, she couldn't show this kind of face to Genji and Canon until her heart was able to calm down. She wanted a little time to herself, and maybe going around the mansion wasn't such a bad way to do that. From the dining hall, she began to hear the tumultuous voices of the family discussion. Someone would speak at a great length and would then be opposed by someone else. That rebuttal will continue for a very long time, drawn out fashion, until opposed by yet another person. They kept on repeating. It was as though that their displeasure was seeping out through their voices. She had been told to go to the guest house, so it would be bad if she was discovered by Krauss. Thinking that, Shannon quick-footedly slipped by the entrance to the dining hall. Then, inside the mansion controlled by the darkness, she began to check the house was all cleaned up, following a pre-arranged route. Is she going to find a dead body? Maybe she will. She walked down the hall, checking each window was closed. In Rokkenjima, there was no human in the family. There were no humans other than the family. So in actuality, closing up wasn't that terribly meaningful of a task. Until Natsuhi had scolded them that attitude was careless. Closing up had not been customary in the Ushuramiya family. The metal fixtures on the completely chilled windows were freezing. And every time she went to check on them one by one, felt the glow in her heart seemed to cool down. Oh shit, she found it? Is that a golden butterfly? Oh shit. Just then, she thought she saw something flickering across the hall. Flickering? Something that shouldn't be visible beyond the darkness of the hall. Is she going to find a dead body? The music, though, although she thought it was probably her eyes playing tricks on her, she killed her breathing for a brief moment. And grasping a curtain, she fearfully gazed into the center of the hall. Oh shit. However, other than the occasional crack of thunder brightening the hallway, she was unable to glimpse any flicker again. Must have been her imagination after all. It's a setup. It's a setup from the culprit. Go check the rooms. There's someone dead. Maybe because she couldn't calm her heart. She saw something that didn't even exist. Oh, that's a setup. Shannon resumed checking the windows. However, in the back of her mind, a certain unnerving possibility had been resurrected. It was that which had been passed down amongst the servants who served the Ushiromia main family. That ghost story, in which the mansion had different masters of the day and the night, in which the master of the night, Beatrice, would sometimes fly around the mansion in the form of sparkling butterflies. Come to think of it, hadn't Cannon said that he had once seen it for himself? Got sulky when I didn't believe him, until he was just seeing things. Could it possibly? Really? The roar of the thunder gave no answer. Yes! Things are heating up. Oh, the clock. The clock is quite creepy. Oh shit. Fuck. Why is there a bell? It's so loud. Oh. Oh, they're showing the positions of everyone, I guess. Nanjo's alone. His cousins are together. Kinzo is alone. What do you want, Beatrice? Man, she really resembles Jessica. This is so interesting. Oh, a lot of time passed. Second day, October 5th, 1986. Oh shit. Someone died in the night. Someone died. But I guess we'll leave it for here. Another episode. It's already 2 hours already of recording. Now let's finally rank the characters. I think I already discussed everything I wanted to discuss. Mainly that my theories fell apart, basically. I still suspect one of the siblings. Then let's go rate the characters. Ah man, this episode complicated things. Yes, Maria is still amazing. Battler keeps getting amazing. Rudolf, no. Battler in second place. Natsuhi coming next. I really like where she's heading. She has a lot of death flags though, so I wouldn't be surprised if she wound up dead now. Then I guess Kyrie jumped a lot. Guess it's because she really is intelligent, and I really like that. Then Rudolf. So basically, Battler's family is all amazing. Then I'd say after that, I could say actually Rosa climbed up again. I don't know. Maybe because I guess she recovered a bit. Say that. Then Ava. Unfortunately, Ava didn't have a lot of screen time, so I'm pretty sad about that. Then Cannon. He didn't have much screen time today either, so. Then Shannon. Shannon is still higher because I don't like the trope of the shy girl. So Shannon, as default, still ranks lower overall because of that. Then Genji. Genji is silently climbing up. Then Jessica. Jessica is climbing up. I really hated her for the past few episodes because the situation with Maria, but she tried her hardest to connect with her mother today, so bonus points for that. Next, Krauss. There's a lot of things that were revealed today about him, and it's getting interesting, I could say. And I guess Kumasawa, not much today for her. Toshiro, the Toshiro continues to be a slimy guy. Nanjo, not too much from him either. He's a nothing character right now. Nothing really interesting about him. So he's like the blandest out of all of them. Then George, because he's 23 years old and dating a 16-year-old, and he proposed to that 16-year-old. So I'm kind of not really a fan of him right now. I don't know. I don't know. Hideyoshi, nothing much from him right now. Again, like Nanjo, he's a bland character right now. There's nothing to him. And then I guess we got some. I guess George spoke highly of Hideyoshi, and I don't know. Hideyoshi is still lower because of that. He didn't have much screen time, And he isn't much of anything right now. Then finally Kingzo, still at the bottom of the barrel. I guess he has an orphanage where he trains his slaves that he supposedly, that if they work for 3 years, then they can return to normal society or something. And yeah, that's it, I guess. I guess next episode we're going to see who died last night, because I think someone died. I think someone in the guest house and in the mansion died. So I think 2 people are going to die. And let me... who should be killed right now? There's a lot of people with death flags right now. I think Kumasawa, she's alone in the guest house. And I think, man, Rosa has a death flag, Rudolf has a death flag, Natsuhi has a death flag. Shannon also has a death flag. So I don't know who is going to die. I'm thinking Rudolf, because he's important to the main character. Maybe, I don't know. Thinking Rudolph's going to die. I don't know. Maybe Natsuhi, so Jessica can get a bit of development. I don't know. Yeah, I think something is going to go wrong next episode, so subscribe, like the video, and yeah, that's it, I guess. Nothing much else to say.